what you need to know.
Talk 1470 WNN.
All County Healthcare, Inc. is locally owned and operated, serving the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties for the last 25 years. The practice of medicine is changing dramatically. All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Amp2.tv presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Hello, South Florida and beyond, and welcome to the Living a Longer and Healthier Life show. This evening, we're going to be talking a lot about memory disorders and a new memory disorders clinic that I'm happy to announce. So memory disorders, and I'm going to ask our expert here in a second, but I think it's anything that falls probably under Alzheimer's disease, dementia, and early onset dementia, which we've actually talked a lot about on this show in the past, because we have a lot of neurologists on this show. We do very well with neurology, so I'm happy to say that. But we're going to be welcoming to the program Dwanne S. Clayton, MSW-RC, SWI, and I will ask her about those acronyms. Social worker, Memory Disorders Clinic Coordinator at the Memory Disorder Clinic at Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute. So you might remember, it's been a few years, but we had Dr. Dalvey on this show, and he hit it out of the park like Dwanne's going to do tonight as well. And we've had a couple other of the doctors, so I think Dr. Malik has been on a few times. I'm trying to think back on the fly, but what I'm getting to is Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute. I have friends who actually go there as patients. They always have great things to say. It's a top-notch organization, and they're located in both West Palm Beach and Boynton Beach. So tonight, though, the focus is going to be on memory disorders. So the Memory Disorder Clinic opened at the Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute, and I think it was late last year, early this year. We're going to ask the coordinator here. So without further ado, I want to welcome Dwanne Clayton. Dwanne, how are you doing this evening?
I'm fabulous. How are you, David?
Thank you, and thank you for making the drive in the rain. I think people are driving around. We probably have a lot of listeners, so this is great info. So you're by trade, or I shouldn't say trade, but you're an expert, you're a social worker, so that's what you do, but then you got involved with the Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute. Talk a little bit about that partnership, and then you came on to work at the Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute.
Yes, I am a master level social worker. I'm also a registered clinical social worker with the state. So I have 12 plus years experience in social work, domestic violence, child welfare, mental health. About maybe 2.5 years ago, I transitioned over into healthcare. Started at St. Mary's Medical Center as the trauma social worker. And then this great opportunity arose at Palm Beach Neuroscience. They were looking for a social worker to run the memory disorder clinic. So I interviewed, everything went great. And since July of last year, the memory disorder clinic has now located at Palm Beach Neuroscience, where it was located at St. Mary's.
Yeah, I remember it was last year, but I just wanted to make sure we got that right. So as a social worker in those type of settings, I think it's safe to say that you probably have seen a little bit of everything imaginable, especially as trauma. I didn't know that, trauma social worker. Yes. As well. So that you have the expertise and the experience of dealing with a lot of different situations. I can't even probably start to get to what you've probably seen, but that's great. That experience and expertise is probably why, you're sitting here today, Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute, which we say PBNI a lot because it's pbni.com. So where is the Memory Disorders Clinic? Is it actually in the West Palm Beach location, in the Boynton Beach location, or both?
It's actually in both. We hold clinic 3 times a month. 2 times is in the Boynton Beach location, and once a month is in the West Palm Beach location.
Nice. So that's 2 locations, and it's 901 Village Boulevard, Suite 702 in West Palm Beach. I'll give out that info as well. I was telling you when you sat down, I was actually there when the PBNI opened back a few years ago, so that's pretty neat. And I know you're located in Boynton Beach as well. I was just over there. It's a little bit west.
8756 West Boynton Beach Boulevard. We're in the Canyons Shopping Center, Boynton Beach Boulevard and Lyons Road.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That is a great plaza, though. I love that plaza. I was out there last night, actually, because there's a care spot there with Tenet as well, with Tenet Health. So how does this Memory Disorders Clinic work? So if I have a friend or family member, or maybe if I even notice like something's not right, I could come over to you and your clinic and maybe schedule an appointment to learn a little bit more if I may have maybe even a function issue or neurological disorder?
Well, one or two ways it can work. I do a lot of community involvement, community education. So I'm really in the community, educating them on the dementias, Alzheimer's, talking about early detection, early screening. So I do a lot of screenings actually in the community. So if I'm in the community, you can get a screening done. Depending upon where you score on that screening, some of my recommendations may be for you to come into the clinic to get further evaluations. Or you can call us directly at 561-990-2135. Say, I'm having some issues. I would like to come in and be evaluated.
Nice. And now when you talk about the community, so is that different homeowners associations, like libraries, anywhere people are meeting in the community?
David, I go any and everywhere. I have a great partnership with CSI, so I am in a lot of the Century Village locations. I've gone to libraries, community centers. Like I said, you name it, I go. If someone wants me to come to Publix and do screenings, I'll be willing to go to Publix and do screenings.
So if communities are interested, they can contact you and set something up?
Most definitely. I do a lot of health fairs, but I don't need to be at a health fair. You can have a lot of places are having, when they're talking about different health issues and they want to bring experts in, or they just want to bring someone in just to talk about what's going on. Give me a call. I'm more than willing to come, do a presentation and also come out and do memory screenings.
That's great. It seems like you have a passion to go out in the community.
I do. I actually like being out in the community. I like meeting new people. You can't be a social worker without being social.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point. But the bigger connection is how you're able to bring this info out to people who may have no idea this exists. And again, it's the Memory Disorders Clinic at the Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute. So what is your role? Is it in coordination and testing, obviously in social work, or do you kind of bounce back to the 3, testing, coordinating everything, and then social work?
All 3. My biggest role at the clinic is I like to say that Dr. Dalvey and the medical staff, they handle medical and I do everything else. So I am talking with the patients, I'm talking with the families, I'm talking about their life, how does their life look, their activities of daily living, what's going on, what have you noticed, behaviors. I'm talking about any and everything. I mean, we even go into finances, we go into, you're paying your bills. Do you have advance directives? Do you have wills? Do you need POA? So I deal with everything outside of medical.
Wow, that is so important. And it feels like you get to know like the families very well, and because you get to you're taking a deep dive into their life to get them the info that they need to have a better quality of life than they're having.
Yes, a lot of people, when they're hit with the fact that they may have this diagnosis, they're not thinking about what's the next step. Unfortunately, they're thinking about, I have this disease, there's no cure, and that's it. Well, I'm here to kind of take them to the next steps. Yes, you do have this disease, but guess what? My job is to get you thinking, get your family motivated, to get you all prepared so that you can, like you said, live a great quality of life.
Yeah, because nowadays there's resources like this that maybe can help you get that extra couple of years, or maybe, fight through a cognitive disorder, which
Correct.
I actually had one in my family a few years ago, and I got to see it firsthand. It was actually dementia. So I dealt with the sundowning. I saw that firsthand, and it was a slower process, but definitely eye-opening. But it's definitely important for friends and family to get care, to reach out, to find out the resources
Correct.
like the Memory Disorders Clinic and Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute, to it just for a better quality of life. And again, it's 561-990-2135.
Yes.
That rings directly there. 2 locations, like we said, West Palm Beach in the Village Boulevard area. So, and then also in Boynton Beach, 8756 West Boynton Beach Boulevard in Canyon Town Center as well. The West Palm Beach location I was saying is 901 Village Boulevard, Suite 702. That's the Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute main hub that's been there for a while. We have a couple more minutes before a quick break, but Dr. R.F. Dalvey. So I always say R.F. is the way to say that first name. It's actually A-R-I-F, but you pronounce it R.F. I learned that
yes.
phonetically with radio, actually, I learned that. So Dr. R.F. Dalvey, he's an MD and MBA. Amazing resume. Was at not only University of Cincinnati for residency, which is a great residential program for medicine, but also fellowship, a double University of Cincinnati clinical neurophysiology, and then the big one, everyone should know this name, Columbia University, New York, movement disorders. So Dr. Dalvey, I met Dr. Dalvey. He was doing a lot with Parkinson's disease, and I know he's a movement disorders specialist as well. But then his training in neurology is so vast that he was doing a lot of memory disorders early on, and those are mainly, I know you mentioned this before, but what you normally see on a day-to-day basis is Alzheimer's disease and dementia, and early onset dementia?
Yes. And also, since Dr. Dalvey works with a lot of Parkinson patients, we have seen a lot of patients being diagnosed with diffuse Lewy body disease, which is also another form of dementia.
Yeah, I saw that recently in the news. I feel like there was a baseball player, Bill Buckner, who played with the Boston Red Sox. I always tie it into sports because I have a sports background. He was a great hitter, but in 1986, the ball went through his legs and helped the New York Mets win the World Series. But he recently died of Lewy body disease at in late 60s. And then we talked a lot on this show right here about an early onset dementia, another tie into sports, Pat Summit, who I believe died at in her mid 50s. From she pretty much got early onset dementia, and it just fast forwarded, and she unfortunately passed away. But those are some tie-ins to sports, and I do that to kind of bring out the word on this, the awareness, because I know a lot of people know those names. But that's great things that you guys are doing over there. Again, it's the Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute. I know you have a landing page out there. It's mdc.pbni.com.
Yes.
Let's take a quick break, and on the other side, I'm going to ask you a little bit about treatment options available for memory disorders on the Living a Longer and Healthier Life show.
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027, or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first. Patient's needs first. You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to questions you always wanted to ask, but did not have that somebody that could make a difference in your life. Call into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
Oh, that's awesome. And we're back on the Living a Longer and Healthier Life show with Dwanne S. Clayton. She's social worker coordinator, both at the Memory Disorder Clinic at the Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute. I always say that because I know you have a lot of roles. I mean, you're out in the community, but you're also in the office, which is it's sometimes hard to do because I have a hard time with that back and forth. But let's talk a little bit about treatment options available. So if there's hypothetically I test and you see something, or the staff there sees something, am I then forwarded to the care of Dr. R.F. Dalvey, the expert movement disorders and memory disorders neurologist?
Well, if you're coming directly to the clinic, the memory screening that I spoke about earlier, I do that inside the clinic appointment. Our first clinical appointment is typically an hour, 15, 30 minutes long. So I'm doing that screening there. And from that screening, one of our straightforward protocols is that Dr. Dalvey never wants to give a diagnosis when we don't know for sure. So the first thing that he is always going to look for is for reversible causes of dementia. He's going to order a blood panel, which is different from, we get a lot of people say, oh, my doctor did that. Totally different blood panel. We're looking for B12, vitamin B12 deficiencies. Your homocysteine levels could be off, your thyroid levels. So we're looking for that type of stuff in your blood, because if it's something easy to treat, we can take care of that. Something else Dr. Dalvey will order, either an MRI or a CT, because he wants to see the structure of the brain, looking to see if any type of fluid of anything is on the brain, because if those things are happening, those could be some of the issues that could be contributing to your memory loss. From there, also, we can, depending upon where a person will screen and kind of what's going on with my assessment, from the information that I obtain, we can also have patients go see our neuropsychologist, which is Dr. DePrima, to go through a more in-depth evaluation. The screening that I give kind of lets us know, hey, something's not going on quite right. What he does is really looks at those different domains of cognitive functioning and can let us know where the deficiencies really are.
Yeah, we actually had Dr. Nicholas DePrima on the show a few years ago, sitting in that chair right there. So I'm glad you mentioned it. I forgot to mention it before. I got to get him come back down. If we're getting a lot of viewers on Facebook Live, so that's great. So if they have any questions, you can type it in there. If it's appropriate, I'll get it in front of Dwanne, or you can call 888-565-1470. We're still here for a few minutes. Does age matter? So are these more senior citizens and older people, or are you starting to see every once in a while a younger patient?
We have younger patients. As I was preparing for this, I kind of went back and looked at our statistics. So since July 1st of last year up until March, we had about 126 new patients. 26% of those were under 65.
Wow, I'm surprised to hear that much.
Yes.
Because I do hear stories here and there, but there's something there, definitely, and I know you guys are on top of it. The big question, people are going to see this, and they're going to ask, do you take most major insurances? But you're part of the Tenet Health, so
yes,
I imagine
everything.
That's pretty much covered, right?
Yes.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Again, it's
my services in the community, though. Like if I'm out and you happen to see me and I'm doing a screening, free screening. Free screenings.
That's great to hear. We the South Florida needs to take advantage of this. Is it just Palm Beach County, or you do a little Treasure Coast too, a little bit?
Well, I should have mentioned this. This memory disorder clinic is one of 16 in the state. We are state funded under the Department of Elder Affairs. So my catchment area is Palm Beach County, Martin County, and Okeechobee County. But we do have memory disorder clinics all throughout the state. So if there are people on Facebook that are not in Palm Beach County, you can go and Google memory disorder clinics and you can find one that's in your area.
Nice. That's good to know. You are such a great resource. And if you have questions for Dwanne and the Memory Disorders Clinic at the Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute, it's again 561-990-2135. There's also a landing page, mdc.pbni.com, or if you'd like to see the main page is pbni.com. They're easy URLs, so I figure I can just jumble all that together.
Yes.
But no, pbni.com is a great resource as well. That's so much information that, I'm even learning here. And, I've known a little bit about this for a while now. So that's great to know. Do you think memory disorders on the rise? It seems like if it's coming up in the youth, or the not youth but younger people, and then I'm hearing a lot baby boomers and the
Yes.
senior citizens.
You hit it right on the head. It's definitely on the rise. Baby boomers are getting older, and not only are they getting older, we're living longer. So this disease is definitely going to hit. If it's not hitting, a baby boomer, it can affect still a family because you may have someone that's taking care of a loved one. So it's definitely on the rise.
That can be that was what I was telling you about the show before. This show is they focus on caretakers, and
Okay.
I know after a while that can be tough on the caretaker as well, because they may be working a job and doing taking care of the house and taking care of a loved one
Yes.
who has a memory disorder, and yeah, that's kudos to those people, because caregivers as well. I mean,
And
great
that's-
medical team, but the caregivers too. Go ahead.
That's one of the great things I do like about the model of the memory disorder clinic. I get this question all the time. Well, why should I see Dr. Dalvey? Dr. Dalvey, I can go to this neurologist. Yes, you could go see this neurologist. Hopefully they do specialize in memory. However, the fact that our clinic has me, don't want to toot my own horn, but
No, you can.
we're just a great resource for people, because a doctor tells you this is what's going on, and what happens? You go home and you don't know what else to do. Well, you don't just now go home. You kind of have me to kind of help. Okay, this is what we're faced with. Now, what are we going to do? And it's not like you come to the appointment and that's that. You still have me. So I think the fact that they have, married this neurologist with social work, put them together, we're just a great resource for the community and for caregivers to kind of get them the services they need up front, instead of when things are just kind of chaotic and they don't know what to do.
Two things there. I love the combination as well of the social worker with the neurologist and the neuroscience institute. I don't know if that's been done before. I'm still trying to find out. I mean, that
I'm the
is a
first
news
here.
nugget right there. So that is just amazing. And the second thing you said is you had the word remind in there a little bit, and that's so important with people with memory disorders. They need someone. Okay, we're at this step in the process. Now it's time to do this. And maybe that phone call or that email or whatever works for communication with that particular person. Everyone's different nowadays. Text, who knows
Yes.
what people want. You got to kind of jot down their name in the Rolodex and what they like, a cell phone call or whatever, or landline even. Those still exist. But just remind someone to kind of work their case and remind them, like, okay, you saw Dr. Dalvey, this is the next step, or this is the test that you need. Maybe explain even that how you explained the blood test before.
Yes.
Because I get those tests every once in a while, and I'm wondering, why do I need another one? But of course you do, because they want to pinpoint exactly what's going on.
Right.
They can't do that with the general
Right.
one that maybe primary care gets.
You're
So-
you're absolutely right about that.
Those are three great points as well. Are baby boomers and the elderly the most susceptible to memory disorders? I mean,
Yes, like I said earlier, because our generation is getting older. I read an article not too long ago. They said, in about 10, 15 years, it's going to be more older people than it is younger people, because we're living longer, which is, a big thing. So we're definitely more susceptible to it the older people get.
yeah, and definitely there's now people living past 100 years old. It's not that rare anymore, which is great to see, in my opinion. If you want to live that long, that is just fantastic to see as well. Again, it's Dwanne Clayton. She's social worker, memory disorders clinic coordinator. It's mdc.pbni.com, 561-990-2135. We still have a couple more. Is there anything I missed? Because I know I'm trying to wrap everything into 30 minutes here of the memory disorders clinic.
Well, just want to let people know that there is, a big myth that, oh, well, I'm getting older. Just because I'm getting older, I'm losing my memory. That's okay. Well, that is a huge myth. It is very common for, people to be forgetful. I'm 42. I can walk into a room and be like, why did I come in this room? But eventually it does come back to me. That's normal. As we age, we slow down a little bit. We can't run as fast as we used to. Our mind isn't as sharp. But if you give your mind time, you will eventually remember. That's normal aging. The issue comes in when you forget and it's not coming back. It is interrupting your activities of daily living. A person that is developing dementia into early Alzheimer's could not retrace steps. We can put our keys down, get ready to leave. Oh, where were my keys? Kind of retrace and go back to where they found them. Someone dealing with this could not retrace steps. So, my biggest thing to tell everyone is that your baseline matters. We hear all the time, know your numbers, know your cholesterol, know diabetes, know everything. To me, also, you need to include a memory screening in your baseline. No matter how old you are, get a simple assessment so you know what your baseline is, and you get that assessment every year so that you can kind of pay attention to how you're doing and if you are having any cognitive deficits.
That is great info, Dwanne. Again, Dwanne, Clayton, thank you so much for the info today.
Thank
Hard
you.
to believe we ripped through a half hour, but we'll have to have you back on. We got a lot of views. Again, it's the Memory Disorders Clinic, Palm Beach Neuroscience Institute, 561-990-2135 or mdc.pbni.com. We'll see you next time on the Living a Longer and Healthier Life show.
Thank you for letting us share with you a longer and healthier lifestyle. If you have a doctor or are a doctor and wish to be on the show, call AMP2TV at 866-244-5422, and we will put you on the air as soon as possible. Tune in next week for more information on living longer and having a healthier life.
The opinions